Well, survivors of Saturday's plane crash face another ordeal, the trauma that follows this type of event.
The Red Cross and other organizations are, of course, there to help, but once they're gone, a nonprofit called Access provides support for years afterwards.
ABC 7 News reporter Leanne Melendez is at SFO now with that story for us. Leanne.
Well, you know, right now, as Larry said, the Red Cross is providing services for the victims of this crash, and the Salvation Army is also involved with the relief efforts. But what happens when they leave, when they're gone? Well, loved ones and survivors have something called Access. In 1996, Heidi Snow lost her fiancé in the TWA 800 disaster off Long Island. All 230 people on board were killed when the fuel tank exploded, caused by an electrical spark. The trauma of that event lingered on for months. Snow says you don't ever move on, you have to move through it.
Even when the disaster response teams leave, we're still grieving, and it's still a part of who you become.
With no one to support her, Snow founded Access. Aircraft Casualty Emotional Support Services. It provides emotional services to victims and loved ones even years after an air disaster. The organization is now reaching out to the survivors of the Asiana crash.
Those affected by this crash who have survived right now are at a certain spot, but we have mentors who have been down that road, who have lost loved ones and who have survived, who can provide a perspective of time.
Snow says it's the people who won't talk about it that end up with higher rates of depression. At SFO, Leanne Melendez, ABC 7 News.
What a talent. Friends remember one of the young victims as an accomplished pianist. We found new video out of China of Ye Mingwan in her final piano concert. This concert was from a Chinese New Year's performance a few months ago. Chinese reports also describe Ye as a gifted singer, gymnast, and public speaker.
Some of the youngest crash survivors are describing their terrifying experience. Siblings Esther, Joseph, and Sarah Zhang and their parents were on their way back to Colorado after spending a month in South Korea. They were sitting near the back of that Boeing 777, close to where the tail ripped off when the plane crashed.
All bouncing all over the place. I just remember there being dust everywhere, and I was freaking out.
Well, I couldn't breathe because I got the wind knocked out of me. So I couldn't breathe for a couple of seconds.
The siblings found their parents on the floor because their seats had fallen over. All of them managed to get out before the fire started. Joseph is being treated for a minor fracture to his back. Esther's on crutches for a sprained foot, and Sarah has a splint for a fractured finger. But all in all, so fortunate that they survived.